Welcome into the DFS Den. Dave Eddy here, aka Corporal Eddie on Twitter. I sure hope you were following the video yesterday. If you did, hopefully you got a nice hit like I did. I got fourth place in the four-seamer on DK for a cool grand. Always nice when you hit those. They definitely help keep that ROI high throughout the season because, as I've talked about, it's a very volatile sport and there are definitely going to be some ups and downs. So nice to get one of the ups out of the way early. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into things. Let's try to repeat what happened yesterday, and let's do it again today. We start off with pitching. And like I typically talk about, pitching is where I like to spend up a little bit and try to limit some of the volatility that we have, in excuse me, in DFS, because you're paying, usually twice as much for a top pitcher as you are for a top hitter. So with that kind of money being allocated, I like to try to make it as safe as possible, if you will, but obviously we need an upside. With that being said, I am kind of sticking true to what I like to do, and we've got Brandon Woodruff going up against the Cubs and Spencer Strider going up against the Nationals. Both guys are on the road, but both guys provide tremendous strikeout upside, great chance for a win. Pretty much everything that I'm looking for in a starting pitcher is right there with those two. I plan on probably capping their exposure around 60% and just kind of seeing where the numbers put me. Now, I do want to give you a much cheaper option, because if we go quite a bit down near the bottom, we get Justin Steele. And Justin Steele is grading out very highly for me today. He's probably going to be pretty close in exposure for me as Woodruff and Strider are. The one caveat that I do want to throw out there for you, just because I know it's early in the season, and I know I talked about this a lot last year, but Woodruff and Steele are facing each other today. So you definitely want to limit them to having one in the lineup. Definitely don't want to put them both together. Just limits the upside because only one of them can get a win. But those are definitely the three pitchers that I'm rocking with. Woodruff and Strider take priority, but I'm going to have a lot of Justin Steele today. And then we come over to the hitting side of things. And again, very interested in Atlanta stacks. They're going to be my top stack of the day, going up against Josiah Gray. With that in mind, I always like to pick, pretty much the top hitter, if you will, in that stack that I want to focus on. And I could give you a couple. I could go ahead and say Sean Murphy, just because he's going to be batting right in the heart of that order. And, $3,900 on DraftKings, a little bit expensive for a catcher, but not, too expensive overall. But that's not the guy that I want to give you. The guy that I want to give you is actually Matt Olson. So Matt Olson's got a tremendous matchup here. Lefty versus righty. That's something that I like. It's going to be batting, right at the top of that order. So Matt Olson's going to be my main guy for the Atlanta stacks. Again, I mentioned Sean Murphy because with the gap that I like to have in there, if I've got Olson, odds are Murphy's going to slide into a lot of my lineups as well. And then Rafael Devers, again, lefty versus righty matchup going up against Kremer. That's also a nice one. Of course, he's not going to be cheap, but that's where a guy like a Justin Steele can save you quite a bit of money. And you can easily afford, both of those guys. And then I also like to throw in a money saver when it makes sense. And so I'm looking at Ramon Urias. He is going up against Chris Sale. Again, it's a righty versus lefty matchup, so I like that. But Ramon started off the season hot. He's got a home run in both games. He's also got a multiple hit effort in both games. So he's definitely a guy who is swinging a hot stick early on. We don't know what we're going to get from Chris Sale. He either could be dominant or he could get rocked or somewhere in between. Suppose you could say that about all pitchers, but with Chris Sale, you definitely have a wide range of outcomes at this point. But that's where I'm sitting for today. If you followed along yesterday and won a good chunk of change along with me, go ahead and drop a like on here. If you've just, been following along with the videos, you've been enjoying them, you've enjoyed today's video, drop a like as well. But definitely pop over here, subscribe to the channel, turn on the alerts so you can get turn on notifications so you can get an alert every time a new video comes out. A lot of times in MLB, we don't have a lot of time before lock when the video comes out, so you definitely want to jump on them quick. We will see you tomorrow.